Hello, hello? Okay, yeah, there we go. I already have a bot in my chat. Oh, let me put the music back on. And I've forgotten how to ban anybody. How do you permaban? I've literally forgotten how to fucking permaban. Like, dude, I'm out of practice. I like how it's, you can't see it here. Let me move my thing. So it's ban and then the time, or you can mod them. Like, why is that the last option there? This seems like bad design. I'm just gonna, we'll figure that out later. I gotta snooze my ads. Oh, I think I could just do this. There we go. I've forgotten how to live stream. I'm out of fucking practice. Give this guy mod. Okay, Garrett. I should give you VIP though. Imagine I accidentally ban you. I don't know how to do this. Can I just flash VIP? Yogurt. Ban me? I mean, if you want me to, I could. All right. Dude, I'm so out of fucking practice streaming. Hang on. My hair is a mess. I also needed to find like copyright free music. And I was like, what do I do for copyright free music? Because I'm also streaming on YouTube. And I was like, I guess I'll put on my, what's it called? I'll put on my Epidemic Sounds. All right. Let me... How is the stream looking? Is it stable? Is it good? Yeah, I was actually thinking maybe I should do like the Oxenfree soundtrack. So, all right, let me close that out. Get my windows ready. Okay, stream looks good. Thank you. All right. I'm just gonna take like 2 seconds to collect myself. Also to change my lights. My lights are boring right now. And then we turn that off. You can't really tell because I have my 2 lights that are coming in here. Oh, God. When did streaming become so difficult? I used to do this every day. Not every day. I used to do this a lot. Now I'm like used to streaming, to making YouTube videos, and I can edit out the shit that I say that's kind of dumb. So it's hella different. All right. Let me figure out what is happening. Oh wait, I gotta message my emote artist. I gotta take a look at my emotes actually. All right, put that away. All right, hope everybody's having a good day. I do have a plan. Actually, let me switch up the music real quick. I'm going to put on... Also, this is just my video lighting. What if I change it up? Blue? Does blue look better? I mean, we could go menacing and be red. I don't like red. I think purple is good. Ooh. All right. I'm thinking putting on Oxenfree 2 soundtrack. Not Oxenfree 2, actually. Oxenfree soundtrack. Is this it? Yeah, this is the correct one. Can you hear it, or is it too low? I kind of want to lower it for me and increase it for the stream. My own music is blaring. All good, all good. Audio is honestly the most annoying part. Okay, so I think I could lower it for myself. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna lower it for myself, but keep it on the same volume for you guys. The one thing I do like, I did invest in this. Like my Go XLR is pretty sick when they added submixes. So now the music could be like at the same level, and if I lower it or put it up, it'll stay the same like ratio for you guys. Submixes are dope because I need to be able to think when I'm gonna do this presentation. God, why am I nervous? I used to stream literally like all the time. Now I'm kind of like super nervous about it. Anyway, so let me close out a bunch of this stuff. Also, before I get into it, the audio problem I had at the beginning of the stream was it wasn't a software issue. It was I accidentally unplugged the cable that goes to my Go XLR to my headphones. So I thought that like I messed something up. No, the cable was just unplugged. I don't watch Tarkov anymore. Clip Jam. Dude, I have not been a Tarkov streamer for like 6 years. 2018? 2025? Yeah. Been a long time. I quit in 2019, was it? Yeah, I mean, 7 years? Oh god, don't say that. Don't say that, Garrett. That's so long ago. That's when I graduated high school. That's crazy. In 2018, I'm an OG, started following 7 years ago. That if you click on your name, it'll tell you when you followed. God. I mean, I started streaming Tarkov, I think 2018. Yeah, 2018. September 13, 2018. yeah, that is just about when I started. Like I was full time by then. I think I went full time because I got partnered in July 5th. I was actually just looking at my like OBS, not my OBS, my Nightbot commands, and I got partnered July 5th, 2018. Insane. Um, God, how time flies. Anyway, yeah, I used to be a streamer. Now I make fucking YouTube videos. And now I'm streaming again. But I definitely won't be playing any games on stream, I don't think. I do like the video essay type thing. Crazy Work OG. Yeah, it's been a long time. Anyway, oh, also, obviously I feel like I haven't shown my stream this, but also the people who watch my videos, if anybody's watching over on YouTube, I got new piercings. I got my lip pierced, and I got my septum and my eyebrow piercing put back in because after I got surgery, well, before I got surgery, I had to get them taken out and put glass retainers in them so that they don't close. But then after I got my surgery, I was like, well, I want a new piercing. Oh no. Yeah, well, I have to run ads basically to keep ads from happening throughout my stream. So I think I am going to just drink some water and chill for a bit while the ads run. Yeah. So while ads run, I think I'm gonna prep, I'm gonna chill, and I do have a PowerPoint. Well, it's not really a PowerPoint, but I do have slides for you guys today. So I have basically like I'm trying this new thing out to kind of like summarize the concept for today. How do I do this? Because I want to make this into a YouTube video. Whatever. We'll figure it out in the edit. Basically, to summarize the concept for today, I will be doing a kind of like live video essay. There's a lot of topics that I have. I'm not going to show people my... Actually, I should wait to do this till the ads are over. So I'm going to just like, sorry for the YouTube folks who are kind of just like sitting there watching me like half explain stuff and then stop. I really, really hate the ad model that Twitch has become. I think when I was a streamer back in the day, like you didn't have to do pre-rolls. You could literally just stream, and then I think when you entered the stream, you would get a bunch of ads. And I think that was it. I mean, let's be fucking for real. I could check right now how much money I made off of ads back in the day. Let's see. Analytics. Earnings. Let's see. 2018. Let me just do this real quick. Nobody's gonna care if I show my earnings from... Wait, why won't it like let me go back? Whatever. Yeah, back when I started, I got one ad when I joined, and I would have another ad the rest of the stream. Hey, Jackal, what's up? Yeah, the ads now I feel like are so terrible. Oh, did they get rid of my stats from back in 2018? Oh wait, no, here we go. 2018. Let's do 2019 February because I was still kind of streaming back then. Yeah, I'm gonna have them pull the data here. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you guys want to see this, here. I think here? Yeah. So this is my ad revenue. This is my like earnings from 2018. Look, 17 minutes of ad breaks from almost 1,800 hours streamed. And let's see, where are we at? Yeah. Most of my stuff was like gifted and paid subs. I earned out of the 19K that I earned that year, I made $156 from ads. Like, ads were genuinely like so non-existent in Twitch on 2018 that it was basically like is the least important thing that you could have on your stream. But that's different now. Everybody has to run ads at the top of the hour if they don't want to have ads for people coming in. Gun Guy, what's up? I'm good. I'm good. I've been busy, been making YouTube videos, been working a lot, you know. Profit. Yeah, Jackal. Yes, Profit is good. Yeah, it was definitely crazy that I went full-time streaming in 2018. That was a wild time for my life. But it's good to see you guys. Thanks for popping in, even though I stream maybe like once a year. I think I'm trying to do a bit more of a regular thing like every week. October 2018 was when I joined. Wow. Yeah, I mean, I still streamed in 2019. I think I really stopped streaming like probably like late mid 2019, because I think that was when I was like switching over to Siege and stuff. What am I doing now? I'm an engineer. It's like that I'm so Asian. I'm just an engineer. Yeah. Nothing exciting. So yeah, I'm just building shit. I'm actually on call this week, so I can't leave my house. Let me go back to my stream dashboard. Electrical, mechanical systems. It's computer stuff. Not a lawyer or a doctor. I can't be all three. Also, I realize this, so I'm completely fine now. Well, I have some other health stuff that I'm dealing with, but like we don't need to get into that. They're not that dire. But when I was dealing with all of like my health issues, I had surgery. I had surgery on my shoulder. Wait, can I show my scar on Twitch without like getting banned? I'm not gonna do it. But I had to have surgery on my shoulder, and I think when I started going through the medical system, I realized that I made the right choice not becoming a doctor or anything like that, because I don't think that I could stomach it. It's not even like, yeah, I'm like blood and stuff like that I'm not very fond of, but it's the hours. It's the hours that you work and really how dedicated you are to your job. Because when I was like actively going back for checkups, my doctor was in, my surgeon was in at like 8:30 doing checkups, and like was there late at night because I think my surgery was at like later in the afternoon, and I didn't get out until like 6, 7, 8 p.m. No, my surgery was at like 6, 7 p.m. And it was like my surgeon would be there early in the morning and stay like late at night. Like, I don't know how long they work, but that is not the life for me. It was actually insane to see like the amount of things they have to deal with and like the long hours that they worked. You still gaming on occasion? What's up, Silver? I am. Yeah, I game all the time. I play Valorant. I played Overwatch yesterday. I played Balatro when my internet was out. Shoulder surgery. Yeah, I got it's more in my like trap muscles, but I got surgery in November. And that's also why my video has been so fucking delayed, because all of December I had like complications and shit. Not complications, but like I just had a rough recovery for my like shoulder. So I was kind of just like taking it easy all of December. Yeah. Oh, I'm in and out of hospitals right now, and it's ruined the idea of my going back to college to become an RN. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay, Jackal? Like, I hope everything is going okay. Like, you're on the road to like getting everything fixed up. Yeah, I like, look, there are so many Filipinos that are nurses. My cousin's a nurse. And when I went to visit her in London over the summer, she kind of described to me things like how things are in like her job. And it was one of those things where I realized that the two of us are very different types of people, because I don't know if any of you know, like it's basically x-ray surgery where like they go in with like a very small tool and they kind of x-ray their way into like removing blockages and things like that. And I remember while I was there, I don't know if she was on call or already back at work, but my cousin had to like she had to help in an operation where somebody like had a stroke, and I could not do that. Like, if somebody's life was on the line to me doing my job well, I think I would lose it. Like, I'm not made for that kind of stress. I'm not made for, like, if I fuck up, somebody could die. But my cousin, she's like, she loves her job. You know, she's like, I enjoy the challenge of it. I enjoy, like, all of the things that go into this very specific type of like being an OR nurse. And like, good on her. Like, she's so like cool and she's so interesting for that. But personally, I'm like, she was describing it to me and I was getting stressed out. And I was just sitting on her couch. Try both carpal tunnel releases and medial meniscus removal in a knee all within the same year. No, thank you. That sounds bad. I hope you're okay. I'm doing pretty good. There's some weird nutrients and hormonal imbalances that show up in my test. Do they know what's wrong with you? And if you don't want to share that, like, that's also completely fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, like, I'm also dealing with hormonal imbalances, which is like super duper fun. But this is like a thing that I've had like all my life. I don't know if you guys like are familiar. I have like PCOS, which is like you have cysts. Well, not you. I have cysts in my ovaries. So that's like a whole thing on its own. So because I have cysts there, I have insulin resistance, which I'm very not happy about this because my whole family has like diabetes. Like both sides of my family has diabetes running on either side. And I'm not like, you know, super good about keeping in shape, but I've always kind of like tried to do my best to like steer myself away from like getting diabetes and, you know, heart disease and the things that I'm like predisposition to. And I didn't get diabetes and I was like completely fine. And then like, I think later on in like probably around the time I went through puberty or something like that, like I found out, I think I was maybe in my 20s, I found out that I had PCOS, which PCOS gives you insulin resistance, which is basically like having diabetes. So despite the fact that I avoided diabetes, I now have it through a completely different thing in my body. It's just like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Odd boss. Oh my God. Hi. Got scheduled for a kidney ultrasound so they could check blood flow to my kidneys and have a heart stress test coming up. I hope, fingers crossed, everything goes well. Back at work, doing so much better. That's good. I have gout, but they don't know why everything else is elevated. What is gout? I have chronic Hansen disease. My doctor said it might be terminal. Ah, damn, dude. Can they do anything about it? You're so handsome though, so I don't know if they could. Dude, boss, I was literally like, okay. I was checking up on you. I was legitimately like, I was in your Discord and I was checking on your YouTube channel. I was like, I need to reach out to Boz. I was like, what is he up to? So the fact that you came to my Twitch stream is absolutely crazy. How have you been? What have you been up to, dude? I've missed you. I didn't. Wait, what? What did you say, so? This would be hard. You mean the disease? Yeah. Oh my God. It's been... How long has it been since we last talked? Cut some off and donate to the less fortunate. Hey, I'll take it. Oh my God. But yeah, I hope that is the end of everybody's like health issues. I didn't expect to run into so many health issues. Like I've never felt more 30 in my life. Let's just say that. They said they could cut oh wait, no. Oh dude, I've had the worst case of SAD I ever had. Stupid ass winter. Oh no. Well, at least here it's getting warmer and it's getting nicer. I don't know how it is over where you are till I feel entertaining again. That's honestly so valid. Look, I'm gonna be for real for old time's sake. Glad you're doing well. Oh, Gun Guy, thank you so much. I don't know if my alerts are working, but thank you for the 200 bits. Yeah, Boz, like throughout my whole recovery for my... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Wait, where is the alerts? I heard the alert. Did you guys hear the alert? Because I heard it. Wait. Is it here? Can I replay it? No. Okay, I have no idea, but thank you. Cams! My room is not clean. The lighting is strategic. The lighting is strategic. Like that's a pile of sweaters. Cam's coming in with mom energy. Cam's always tries to make sure that I have a clean floor, and I never do. Yeah, I mean, Boz, like if you look at my fucking YouTube channel right now, I will blame the recovery, but like I haven't uploaded in 3 months. My last upload was through, although I will say I am very, very close. I'm very, very close to finishing this next video. Gout is high uric acid in blood that ends up crystallizing in your joints, causes some of the most extreme testing. 1-2 testing. I mean, hopefully the alerts work. Okay, going back to reading. Causes some of the most extreme and sensitive pain a human can feel. The only real treatment is a lifetime of medication. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at too. Like, I have to pretty much be on my meds forever and ever, but I don't really care. Like, it is what it is. Like, my body just doesn't function properly, and it doesn't 1000... Like, the main thing that having insulin resistance is doing to me is making me gain weight, and like my food signals are all off. So like I can eat and still like feel really hungry. But being on like actual like medication is like helping me out. Yeah, Cams, I think if I looked at your messages, it's mostly going to be asking if my room is clean. Like, let me see. Let's see. User. Cams. Let's see. What do you got for me? Wait, where's your chat log? 984 messages. Oh, this was my Genshin stream from like 2022. Bye, Esper. Can't wait for your stream next year. Oh my god. So proud that your floor is clean at the new place so far in 2021. I mean, you're consistent, if nothing else. I was hoping on Cam's bandwagon with mom questions. Just get rid of everything with high fructose corn syrup. That's for starters. I mean, I don't tend to eat a lot of like shit. It is genuinely just like insulin resistance. Yawn. Can't wait for the 30s. I lied. I can and will. Look, I think the 30s. Look, I'm 30 flat, so I can't really speak too much on the 30s as an idea, but I think the 30s get like a bad rap. I was talking with my friends about this last night, and I genuinely think that I would not, given the choice, I would not want to become 20 again. I feel like my life was so significantly worse when I was 20 to now when I'm 30. I think that the 20s are, I don't want to say overrated, it was kind of overrated. The 20s are overrated. I think my 20s only started looking up around the time I was maybe like 27-ish. That's when I moved out. 26, 27. And then I think I got my own place back in the city when I was 28. So like late 20s, that's where it's at. 30s, you know, like I'm a full adult now. My 30s about to end and I had a good fucking time. Honestly, I hope 40s is better. Honestly, I think it will be, Boz. Like, I have no doubt that it just gets better. I think genuinely people overestimate youth. Like when you're a kid, not that people in their 20s are kids, but when you're like younger, the world I think feels a lot more overwhelming. Because you have to figure out your career, you have to figure out like what where you're gonna live, you have to figure out relationships, you have to figure out like both relationships that are like romantic and platonic, your friendships, like there's so many things that you have to figure out, and it's so overwhelming and difficult. Whereas like I feel like in my 30s I'm kind of not set in my ways, but I've kind of figured out all the really tedious parts of my life. It's like, I don't have to go to college anymore, you know, like I know what I'm doing to make money. I know what I'm doing to have fun. I know who my really good friends are, you know, and I'm open to making new friends, but it's like 20s are hard, I think. 30 is the new 20. I think so. Yeah. I love Oyo's theory. Sadly going somewhere. Bye. Later, Rainbow Dash. Thank you for stopping by. I'm sorry we didn't get to the video part of the stream. I've just been catching up with people. The older you get, the more you'll realize that you survived each decade of your life versus experience those times. Yeah, I mean, I think that's like just another way of saying it gets better, right? You know, like I think I was able to start traveling. Really like traveling. Like back in the day, yeah, I am streaming on YouTube. I am streaming on YouTube as well. Like back in the day, I would travel to conventions. But I always considered conventions work more than it was for fun. Like when I would used to go to what's it called? Like TwitchCon. What other conventions did I go to? PAX East was like a really popular one for the gamers. I would consider all of that like half work, half fun. Anyone on YouTube stream is a loser. That's me. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying it out. I'm trying out streaming on YouTube, mostly because I'm kind of like, I do have an audience on YouTube and I don't know how they feel about coming over to Twitch, but some of them might not even like watch live streams. Who knows? But I'm reading both chats. I do know that Twitch is like, you can't have both chats on screen. So I don't actually know how I could have YouTube chat for the YouTube audience and Twitch chat just for the Twitch audience. Or let's see. I like it when streamers have mixed chat on the video feed. You can start beef with the chat and someone on YouTube, not you, the viewers. Okay, I was just about to start pitting you guys against each other. Like, who's better, YouTube chat or Twitch chat? Oh my god. Oh, dude. All right. Should we get started? I don't know. I feel like we're having a reunion. I feel like we're having like for the people in the YouTube stream who weren't here in the beginning. I used to be a streamer. I know I've mentioned this in videos before, but I used to stream like video games on YouTube, on fucking Twitch. Oh my god, boss. Twitch chatter the goats. Yeah. Honestly, Twitch does have its very own culture. Like, I do genuinely feel like Twitch culture is stronger than YouTube culture. Like, people go to YouTube to be entertained. Like, I barely comment on YouTube videos. And, you know, don't take YouTube chat. I love it when you comment. I read all of your comments. I swear to God. I respond a lot to a lot of comments too. Daisy. Oh, Daisy. I did honestly. As for SKS, oh geez, yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I thought about doing a video essay on Daisy, and I still might, but that involves playing Daisy, and I don't know how good that will be. I was thinking maybe having one of my like old friends like guide me through Daisy, because I'm definitely not up to date enough anymore where I can just hop into Daisy. But I do want to do a Daisy video essay. I think that would be a very interesting kind of almost retrospective. Honestly, as a YouTube chatter, YouTube chat is worse than Twitch. Only only animals. I like to think that my YouTube chat is decent when there's usually people in there. I think that like YouTube chat, well, I've only really done YouTube live streams when I'm reacting to my own videos. So I think a lot of people are like talking about the videos and things like that. So it's not as insane, but I have clicked on like gaming live streams on YouTube, and those are bad. Like, I feel like, how do I say this and not like, so when you're a content creator and you create on multiple platforms, I feel like you start to notice trends in the way that people comment on each platform. Like TikTok gets pretty good engagement if you hit the algorithm in the right way. And people tend to stay pretty on topic. Instagram comments are unhinged lunatics. Like Instagram comments will attack you for like you as a person without any sort of like, I don't even know what to call it, but like Instagram comments will simply just go for the throat for you as a person. Twitter is unhinged. Like ever since Twitter has the monetization thing, like Twitter is garbage. I got off Twitter. I'm on Blue Sky now. Fuck Twitter. Twitch chat I feel like is where you could feasibly, if you're like a small enough streamer, you could really get to know people. Like I still know everybody here. YouTube chat is like a mix between like what you would think a bot would be saying, but it's really just like some 13-year-old kid like clicking on random ass live streams. Bro, I never use my Twitter unless I get like a notice that someone... Yeah, I have my Twitter notifications on. And my rule for Twitter is that like, I know it's not going to go away yet. But my rule for Twitter is that I like click on a notification and I don't scroll or browse Twitter ever anymore. I mainly, if I have to post, I'm posting on Blue Sky and then that's it. Third and happy. Glad you're able to travel and not have to engage your work brain anymore. Yeah, it is nice. It is nice to be able to just like do travel for fun. My friends and I are actually planning my second Japan trip. The first time I kind of went semi by myself. And now I'm going to be with my friends for like the whole thing. And I'm very excited. I get to show them around. But when I read that tweet and scroll down, it's just shoot. Oh my God. I've never been into that stuff. It's like being spoon-fed reasons to hate minority groups. Yeah, honestly, okay. I have a whole thing, like my video essay. I'm going to give you guys like a little sneak preview of the video essay that I'm working on. But the way that algorithms work on like these platforms, Twitter especially, I think has done certain very, very problematic things to their algorithm that have been kind of driving engagement, and they don't care if that sort of engagement is very hateful or if it's very incredibly harmful. It is genuinely like how many people click on this, how much time they spent on it, did they like it, did they comment, and that is all Twitter cares about now. And I was watching a live stream that the Yard podcast did, and this was around the time of the California wildfires. And there were people that were just posting false information about the California wildfires for clout on the internet. And like, that's sad. That's like really fucking sad that people will just lie so that they can get likes on Twitter about an active tragedy that is like decimating people's homes and killing people. It's insane. It's absolutely fucking insane. I have no words for how bad Twitter has gotten. Like, I wish honestly in my video essay I got to like talk about it more, but yeah. Okay. So we have 30 minutes before my next pre-roll has to go off. I hate having to manage pre-rolls. It is so dumb and stupid. But I do have a presentation for you guys today. So Let me see if this works properly. Yeah. Can I make my camera bigger? See, in this view, cams can't see my floor. So it's completely fine. He can't judge me. Okay. Also, my artist, Moralia, made this and it is so sick. Like, I have a slightly more animated version of this backdrop, and it is. I use it for my videos. I can see a blurry bed with clothes on it. Don't look at it. Stop looking at it. Stop. Don't look at it. All right. So this works. I think this works. All right. Ooh. Okay. Oh my God, what happened to you? What do you mean, Siren? What do you mean what happened to me? I'm still going to post a video. I have a video that's going out sometime in March. I almost said next week, but I was like, that's a surefire way to not get that video out. Okay, you know what? Let's watch the preview of my next video, and then I wasn't expecting the air horn. That's funny as fuck. I like that. All right, guys, let's watch a video. Like the preview of my next video, and then we'll get started on like the presentation I have. This is on my Patreon. This is like literally 18 seconds. You don't need to be subbed to my Patreon to watch this. It is just, hang on, I'm gonna put myself real tiny. You guys still see me? Hello. But this is on my Patreon for like free. It's been so long since you posted anything. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am working. Look here. We're gonna watch the preview of the video. Wait, let me pause the music here real quick. I don't have any music on this yet. Is ruining media literacy, and I'm going to prove it to you by taking you on the journey I went on. Where? Here. And we're going to venture out to all of these points, but let's start here. Yay, it was 18 seconds long, and that's the preview. But yeah, that's the next video coming out. I'm on my phone, so I can't hear shit. Oh no. Wait, could you guys not hear anything? Yeah, oh wait, no, that's zoomed in. I walked out of my my roommate walked out of her room, and I was like, does this brain look like a brain? I was like, I've been looking at it for so long. I don't know if this brain looks like a brain. Bless my roommate, honestly, for like putting up with my shit. I'm just like in the living room drawing my little fucking whiteboard. But yeah, that's the next video coming out. Siren, a video is coming out. To explain very briefly, I covered it earlier. All of December and part of January, I was recovering from surgery. So I've kind of been a little bit out of commission. But I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm fine. So that's kind of why nothing has gotten like posted. Well, I'll be back. I'll be back. Don't worry. This is why I'm kind of doing this. I want to post more content for everybody. So that's why I've made this like little PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to try to stream. Nope, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say my goals. I'm going to keep it to myself. I'm gonna keep it to myself. Okay. I'm gonna keep it to myself. We're not gonna talk about how often I would like to stream, but I do want to give people more content to look forward to. Because not every idea I have is video essay worthy. When do we get the Esper's Bad Date Stories channel though? Oh my god. I actually haven't been dating. Get back to work, ma'am. Wow, Sway. Wow. Those are the best Discord calls. I haven't been dating, boss. Dating in New York City is abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. I simply don't date anymore. It's for the best. Yeah. I was actually going through. Okay. Do I share this? Do I share this? Oh my god. Okay. I gotta go later, gun guy. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the bits again. Sorry my alerts aren't working. Oh my god. Let me see if does this have a name? Like, because if this doesn't have... Okay, this doesn't have a name. I can share it. Oh my god. All right. Okay. Make sure... So, Boz, you might remember this one. This is from back in... Like, this is probably like 8 years ago. And I got this message. I got this message from somebody that said, hey, I think your gamer girl vibe is really sexy. Dating is insane. After that, I took out any mention of me playing video games in my profile. It was out. I took it out. That's Riz? Cams, do you think that's Riz? Is that what you think Riz is? Oh my god. Yawn. Yeah. I took out everything that mentioned that I play video games. I just simply could not. I couldn't. Cam's that emote. Whose emote is that? Is that... Oh, Moon 2. Oh, you guys both have eyebrow emotes? I need an eyebrow emote. Although, I was talking to my artist, Moralia, and he said, oh, do you want animated emotes? And I was like, wait, I didn't even know I had animated emotes. And I do. I have animated emotes. I have 29 slots of animated emotes. And I was like, I can't afford that. Varp! Oh my god! It's all the OGs coming through. Yeah, so I have 29 emotes that I could fill if I wanted to for Twitch. Smokey, it's probably been more than a few years. I think the last time I streamed... Well, no, the last time I streamed was last year. But it's been a long-ass time. It's like we never left. Yeah. Can't have an OG without having me. Hey, what's up? I've followed you since... Oh, you're here from the DayZ days. Oh my god. 2016, I was streaming from my college dorm room. I was streaming DayZ from my college dorm room. 2016 here too. Oh my god. You guys, all the fucking OGs are coming out to play. Holy shit. I found you via Break. Yeah, that Break was my entry into streaming. Break was the reason why I never... I think I do too, but I can't be sure. Oddboz. I think I recognize Smokey's name. I remember you when Scum first came out. Oh yeah. That was 2018. That was 2018. That was like mid Tarkov era Esper. That's crazy. Oh my god, that was so long ago. Was the Steam stream? I want to... Oh, you did, Cams? Well deserved. You're here so much. Black Sight. Oh, don't remind me, boss. Yeah, I followed you all the way up to the Scum release. Hot damn. Yeah, and then I stopped streaming, I think, shortly after that. I was given a Scum key from the devs. Yeah, I mean, that was fun while it lasted, but it like fell off very quickly. But I feel like that was the era of like all of the, I don't want to say DayZ copycats, but like that was the era of like the survival shooter type beat that was all coming out around the same time. Because like all of the, what's it called? Was it, oh my god, Rust, DayZ, not, these are not all the same genre, but like Rust, DayZ, Tarkov, Scum, what else was like coming out at that time? Yeah, DayZ copycats into streaming onto Steam. Yeah, I still can't believe we were on the Steam stream. I had to ask for help about a year ago because some of the fallout for that. Yeah, dude, I forgot about that. Yeah, but DayZ, here's the thing. DayZ might suck, but DayZ was the OG. And it doesn't matter if DayZ sucks because it had the idea first. I have two questions. Was JJK disappointing to you, and do you play Marvel Rivals? Hey, Precipice. JJK. So I am actually, okay, I am trying to make good on my promise. And I am reading through all of JJK. So I have this. So yeah, I have this. What's it called? We're gonna zoom in a little bit here. And this is my like PowerPoint for DayZ and like all the questions that everybody had for me. And I will get to it. I will get to it. But I mean, right now I am about 30 chapters away from the ending of DayZ of JJK. And I'm not impressed. Honestly, like I have my thoughts, and I will do a live stream of me answering all of these questions because I have a lot. So look out for that. I might be able to finish reading through oh my god, I keep saying DayZ, of JJK in the next week or so. I might finish it over the weekend, and then I'll take my time to kind of sit with it and like formulate a response to a lot of these. But yeah, that's one of the things that I have that I'm kind of planning. And I played Marvel Rivals. It's not really a game that I kind of really picked up, but I played Jeff because Jeff is amazing. And I don't know, I spent maybe about 5 hours on Marvel Rivals with my friends. DayZ is jank, and it always has been since day one mod, but it was special. It was so absolutely special. I watch Smoke all the time when I catch him at night. He's still hardcore into DayZ. Dude, Smoke is a different breed of DayZ streamer. I think Smoke has his very own style that kind of sets him apart from everybody else that streams. DayZ, that is. Rivals is doo-doo. It's aight. Like, I still play Overwatch, so I can't really say anything. I don't play Overwatch as much anymore. I tried it out last night, and my friend Garrett and I might play. It's aight. Like, it's aight. That's it. I kind of predicted that about JJK, considering you slowed down heavily on your previous hype. Looking forward to the conclusion video. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it was a secret that I kind of fell off of JJK. I think that a lot of people were really hesitant on accepting that it was kind of going downhill. Oops. Let me grab my camera. Put it over here. But like from here, basically here, I hadn't released a positive JJK video. Like this was a negative one. This one was also kind of negative. And then obviously this one was like, Nobara deserved better. And then, you know, I am actively pivoting my channel away from JJK. It was fun. I liked it, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, I think JJK had a lot of promise. But it just, I can't wait for Jujutsu Kaisen to finally for the collective zeitgeist so we can talk about Peak, Akane, Banashi, or Gachiya Kuta. I've never heard of those. What are those about? Very much so. He's relatable. Also very good at the game. Overwatch, even in its current state, is better IMO, but the bar is low. The bar is low. Honestly, I prefer playing Valorant, but Valorant games take 40 minutes minimum, unless you're cracked. So if I sit down for a Valorant game, I am committing to sitting down for a Valorant game. Like, the good thing about Overwatch is that if I have like 20 minutes to play, I will just be able to play a game. What about League? Hey, Jared. What about League? I guess I am bad at League. I'm bad at League of Legends. I play it so I can spend time with you guys. I don't think I have any desire to get good at League. Yeah. I don't think I have any desire to get good at League. I think League is too bogged down by its 10-year history, and there's too much to learn. And I'm not fucking Ludwig Ogren. I'm not trying to hit plat. I'm not trying to prove anything. Like, there's no draw to League of Legends for me. It's just something that I play with my friends. So yeah, I'm kind of just like, it's okay. Honestly, where it's at is indie games, but oh, I still have to play. This is probably things that I won't live stream over to YouTube, but I want to play Silent Hill 2 remake. That's something that'll probably just be a Twitch thing. But I don't know how scary. What's it called? I don't know how scary Silent Hill 2 remake is. So, all right. I think it's time we get started. I do have 11 minutes before I have to do a pre-roll. So is that enough time to introduce the concept of the stream today at large? I think it is. Okay. So, looks like it did surprisingly well with the remake. Yeah, it got really good reviews. Okay. So, for the Twitch people, the YouTube people are very much aware of this. The YouTube people know that I make video essays. And that's kind of like my thing now. Like for the Twitch people, I still play video games. I just don't stream them. But what I have been doing is video essays. And I've been wanting to live stream, and I've been kind of getting the itch to live stream for a while now. And I think that this is kind of like a really good balance between the two, because I have things that I really like I really want to talk about, but they don't make sense to have a full-blown like 3-month development video on, and I can't spend that time for something that's kind of like a B tier idea, whereas I have a bunch of A tier ideas that are already in the queue waiting. So I think that, doing this video essay live series would be a good way to kind of get balance. And if there's anything that you guys want me to talk about, I know I've been asked like over time for a lot of things, which I have unfortunately forgotten. Or sometimes I've written them down, but I think that this is like a kind of a good way to like discuss things for me to get like some of the like topics I have in my head out. And yeah. All right. I also intend to make this into a YouTube video. So how do people do this? Oh my God. I don't know why, but I get embarrassed. Like 60,000 people watched my last YouTube video, but like now I'm looking at chat with all of my OGs that watched me on Twitch and I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I can't do this. Like, don't look at me. Akane Bashi, local girl, this Rakugo Japanese theater and crushes the competition she ate. Hell yeah. All right. So today we're talking about the goodwill theory of media and air horn noises. I'll add that in post. I don't have air horn noises lined up right now. So I got this idea while I was reading through the Southern Reach trilogy, which is a set of books. I haven't read through all of them yet, but it's a set of books. Actually, it's not a trilogy anymore. It's the Southern Reach series because Jeff released a 4th book. But I got this idea because in that 4-book series, the 2nd book, I feel like is very definitively not hated, but disliked more than the rest. And I always kind of wondered like how people stomach watching things that I find to be, putting it nicely, not as good. Gachia Kuta, boy collects trash, then falls down that sounds very interesting, actually. Okay, so yeah, today we're going to talk about the goodwill theory of media, air horn noises. Hey, my name is Esper, and I talk about things to a depth nobody asked for. And today we're going to be talking about the goodwill theory of media. That was so hard to do, you guys. It felt like I was getting up in front of like my middle school class to do like a presentation. Wait, actually, let me see how much time I have left before I have to run ads. 6 minutes. Okay. So let's do that. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Pretend that I didn't do it before. Okay. Slideshow. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the goodwill theory of media, air horn noises. Hey, my name is Esper, and I talk about things to a depth nobody asked for. And I always wondered how people tolerated such bad media. And I think I kind of get it now, but this is, I feel like, a way to discern how well you're going to like a piece of media. It's okay. I'm here with all the comments like make your bed, etc. from the good old. Cam's already got that covered. Okay. So alternatively, it's how to predict when a show is going to fall off. I feel like there have always been very, very clear signs when a show is going to fall off. And I feel like, and to bring my experiences like full circle here, I feel like there was a point when I was covering JJK where I was certain that it was going to fall off and that there was like no getting back up from there. But a lot of people didn't quite feel the same way, even though I could tell like there were very clear signs that like, hey, this piece of media that you love very dearly, it's dead and gone. That's like a walking carcass of the media that you love. But sometimes the things you like will get worse, and that's good. I feel like this is a very nuanced topic to take on because, how do I put this? There are times when, oh wait, I just realized my other recording is messed up. But anyway, I think this is a very nuanced topic to take on because it's hard to tell when things are getting worse and they're kind of just going like downhill, or things are getting worse because they are in a place of conflict, right? So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But I want to show you a little bit of a pattern here that I've kind of seen. So this is a set of reviews, and you can kind of see the bar here. This is a set of reviews for a trilogy. And as you can see here, this is the first book at 264K ratings. And you can see the distribution here is kind of like this little hill, and then it falls off. It's mostly 4-star and about equal 5 and 3-star reviews. Here, though, this is the second book, and you see that the 5-star reviews kind of start falling off. The 4-star reviews pretty much remain the same, and then the 3-star reviews really kind of go up. So this is then I don't know why I'm pointing at my screen. So this is then the last book of the series, where you can kind of tell, like, you know, the amount of people that read it have stabilized, and you can tell that this is the audience, right? And this was so interesting to me because from both the reviews that I saw and from my experience, because my friends recommended me this book, a lot of people really disliked the second book, whereas I really liked it. But there was this kind of concept and feeling that the second book wasn't a good book in the sense of the traditional way, but it was a challenging book as a stepping stone to better things. Does that make sense? If not, we'll go over it later. Actually, we'll go over it now. So it's because bad things needs to happen to progress plots. And I think a lot of people have a hard time telling when a piece of media is falling off or a piece of media is just going through the natural cadence of what that media does, which is have conflict. But I think this is the important skill, is that how do you decide if the media will recover from that point? And this kind of like has a lot of like prep work to it in terms of what you do, and kind of like the way you think about media is really like how you are able to tell when something will fall off versus something that is just in the process of telling a story. So I think that this is a pretty, I wouldn't say foolproof, but I think this is a pretty good system to kind of get you started on figuring out whether like your favorite piece of media will fall off of the cliff. So I want to emphasize that this is a system not based on your enjoyment yet. We'll get to your enjoyment, but I think determining the chances of like a piece of media falling off is more about identifying your desired experience. Because at the end of the day, like somebody's trash might be your treasure, right? Like you could absolutely love a piece of media and somebody is like, you like that? I mean, I was going to say I used to have How I Met Your Mother on like repeat back in the day, but I feel like that's a pretty common sentiment. I feel like How I Met Your Mother has been like a background show for so many people that I actually don't think that this falls into that category. But there's media that we consume like passively, and then there's media that we consume because we really like it or we think that it will be meaningful. I think that's I don't want to even say JJ here, but that's like the Severance, right? Like people don't consume Severance because they think it will be like a super fun, like fluff joyride along the way. People watch Severance because it is intriguing, it's deep, and it's mysterious. So you really want to identify the experience that you want to be having, because if you're in the mood for like a sappy rom-com and you're having like, you know, a mystery, like whodunit, you're not you're going to have, oh my God, I can't speak. You're not going to have a good time regardless. So, you know, do you want a sappy rom-com? Do you want a brutal action movie with heavy themes? Do you want political intrigue with a side of will they, won't they lesbians? First, you have to find your piece of media. And how do you find them? So, don't watch movie trailers. Movie trailers are almost always terrible. And sometimes they contain spoilers, which I never got when I was watching movie trailers, because if you spoil the movie, I feel like that will lead to worse reviews later down the road. But I don't work for the entertainment industry. I think book blurbs are really for deciding. I think book blurbs are like they're the equivalent of the first paragraph that a kid writes on their book report. Like, yes, it technically describes what happens in that book, but it's not really going to give you the experience, TM, of reading that book. I think book tropes are very good about this because book tropes are generally decided by the community. So you are going through an outsourced, crowdsourced piece of information. I actually want to show you guys. Goodreads is pretty handy for this. So I'm going to show you Hunger Games real quick. And you'll see the genres here, which is like young adult fiction, fantasy, science fiction, whatever. But if you click on more and then you click on show all, it'll take you to a different page. And it'll show you the tags that people use for this. And of course, this isn't like 100% great. Like currently reading is more of a functional tag that people use. Apparently, almost 94,000 people are reading the Hunger Games right now. Yeah, it is a bit relevant. But I think there is like, you know, post-apocalyptic, you know, there are things that you wouldn't necessarily like find. Survival, suspense, like how, like it almost kind of feels like what percentage of the book contains these themes, because the amount of people that think to put that kind of has a weird correlation to how prominent it is in the book. Some book blurbs are kind of creative, like quote ones, more than trailers anyway. Yeah, I think that book blurbs can be good. Like, let's actually look at the Hunger Games book blurb. Could you survive on your own in the wild with everyone out to make sure you don't live to see the morning? In the ruins of a place once known as North America lies the nation of Panem, a shining capital surrounded by 12 outlying districts. The capital is harsh and cruel and keeps the districts in line by forcing them all to send one boy and one girl between the ages of 12 and 18 to participate in the annual Hunger Games to fight to death on live TV. 16-year-old Katniss Everdeen, who lives alone with her mother and younger sister, regards it as a death sentence when she steps forward to take her sister's place in the Hunger Games. But Katniss has been close to dead before, and survival for her is second nature. Without really meaning to, she becomes a contender, but if she is to win, she will have to start making choices that weigh survival against humanity and life against love. This is a pretty good, I would say that this is a pretty good blurb about the Hunger Games. I think that in terms of blurbs, this one for the Hunger Games is pretty on point. But what I think this book blurb is missing is the tone. Like, I don't know if this will make sense to anybody else, and maybe it will if you read a lot when you were younger, but there's something about this blurb that hits in the 2000s, like the early 2000s part of my brain, where it was like, yeah, if I picked up a book at Barnes and Noble, this is a very typical structure of what a book summary book blurb would be. There's nothing here about the tone of the Hunger Games. Like, obviously, it's very dark because, you know, the capital is harsh and cruel. Like, it tells us it's very dark. But it's hard to get the sense of the type of darkness that the Hunger Games has from this blurb. And I think that, you know, going back to all of the tags, like, I also, I guess, be careful about the tags as well, because sometimes it might be a little bit spoilery. But from there, you would have never probably thought that this was a love triangle, you know? And some people hate reading love triangles. So this kind of builds up the sort of picture that you have in your mind. I think it's good enough to like skim this, because a lot of this is also like very, very useless, like 5-star reads. Cool. I don't know who you are. 5-star read means nothing to me. But something like Thriller, it's surprising to me that Thriller has about almost 1,300 people like suggesting that as a title, as a theme for this. So it's very useful. And I think that this kind of helps you paint a picture. And obviously there's other places that, you know, you can go to for, what's it called? For getting an idea of what a book is like. I think Reddit is probably a very sort of subjective one. Reddit is one of those ones where it's kind of like, oh, okay, like you can ask very specific questions about a piece of media and people will tell you about it. Okay. And this also brings me to my next point, because I feel, all right, just let me get on my fucking soapbox for a second. Let's see. Let's go here. Yeah. Let me get on my soapbox for a second, because we're going to talk about YouTube and TikTok reviews. Look, as much as I love watching YouTube and TikTok reviews sometimes, I think that YouTube and TikTok reviews shouldn't be used for determining themes of a book, right? If you're trying to find an experience that you would like, I would very highly discourage you to go to a person that you don't know. Because there is this YouTuber who I won't name that I really, really like. However, their taste in horror movies is the complete opposite of mine. I still watch their videos and I enjoy their videos, but I know if they recommend a horror movie, I will likely dislike that movie. I know that's counterintuitive, but I watch YouTube and TikTok reviews more as entertainment and as kind of like an insight into the way people think about media rather than a recommendation system. Once in a while, I still will pick up, recommendations, sometimes from my YouTube comments, sometimes from like watching a video on it. But oftentimes I need to know the taste of the person before I actually take a recommendation from them. Narita, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. All right, so just to recap a little bit, basically, we're kind of trying to determine the chances of like a piece of media falling off. And the first step to that is like, you want to dedicate your time to something that you will enjoy. And I think that first, what you have to do is you have to find media that is going to cater to what you want. So this is kind of like the first preliminary process of like finding something that you want. Oh yeah. So I went ahead a little bit here. Letterboxd is also a really good resource. I think Letterboxd is actually better than Goodreads. Here. Oh, this is like the serialized is the, what's it called? TV version of Letterboxd. So I don't know. What's the Annihilation? There we go. Let's look that one up. This is 2018. Yeah. So genres. I think Letterboxd is really good for this because it not only gives you the themes, it also gives you movies that are categorized within those themes. So if you're unsure of what that theme is, like humanity and the world around us could mean anything, right? But it's listing movies like Donnie Darko and Poor Things and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. You kind of get a vibe of what humanity and the world around us entails. And it's not happy. It's not happy-go-lucky, right? So Letterboxd, even though I don't use it, I think is a very good resource for finding things. Finding the themes of a piece of media. Taylor, hi, what's up? I didn't know you changed your Twitch name. How's it going? It's been so long since we've talked. All right, let me go back here. Yeah. The slideshow. So yeah, now that you've determined what you want and the piece of media you will be consuming, you need to form an agreement. And this is obviously mostly just an agreement with yourself. And you kind of have to determine like which parts of what you want is being fulfilled by this piece of media, right? Like, is it romance, but it's not sappy? Is it action, but the themes aren't heavy? Is it political intrigue, but not lesbians? Deal breaker. And now you begin to consume this media and start grading it based on how well it keeps its promise. All right, let's stop here. We go here first. And this is kind of like the insurance that you enjoy this media, right? Like you're picking an experience and then now you're finding media that corresponds with that experience. Therefore, the enjoyment is implied. So you're picking a thing that is hopefully something that you really want to watch and will fulfill, you know, the desire you have for this piece of media. Personally, sometimes I'm like, I really want to watch a horror movie. That happens a lot. But the type of horror that I want to watch is very, very specific. I have a very specific taste in horror. Okay. So I don't know how many people here from YouTube, but I did have a lot of people asking me about my database. So in my last video, let me pull it up real quick. We're taking a bit of a detour here. I don't know where it is in my video here. Look, I had green lighting that time. Where was it? It's somewhere here. A better person. I'm serious. Let me introduce you to a concept that I beg that more people should know. Horror itself is incredibly broad. It synergizes with other genres like thriller, sci-fi, and fantasy, in addition to unlikely candidates like romance and comedy. I think it might be in the comments. There is a horror genre for everyone. This is my horror list, and I once here it is. My friends, and instead of saying cool, they said, "This is my horror." And okay, so there was a lot of people asking me about my horror database. So I consume a lot of media, and I do keep a Notion database of the things that I consume, and I rate it there. One of the main things is that I feel very reluctant to share my Notion database. A lot of people have asked about it. Like, so many people asked about it in the comments of the video. And I feel very reluctant to share my Notion database because I don't want people to kind of like judge the private thoughts that I have about a piece of media. Because if I make it public, then I'm allowing kind of people to comment on it and kind of like I'm not so much losing ownership of it, but there's definitely a sense of loss of ownership for myself of something that I just keep for me. So I don't think that I will be sharing my horror database because that's something that I genuinely just keep for me. But here, I will share some of the things like here. So honestly, good call. Yeah, I think it's a bad idea. I think it's a bad idea to share my horror database. I think people are very curious about it. But the loss of ownership over the database and my thoughts and like feeling like I now have to perform on a certain level when I'm updating my database would be a terrible feeling. So this is one that I'm just going to keep close to my chest. But I forgot what we were talking about. Why did I bring this up? Oh, I forgot why I brought it up, but here, I'm going to show you guys my database. This is just the series and movies, but I have a very specific system that I keep in terms of grading things. Like you can see here, I have a rating system of like, and I don't do, and this might be controversial, I don't do half stars. My rating system is just a 5 star from 0 to 5, no half stars. I think that when you get into decimals, you're kind of just being too nitpicky. I think that if you can't give a whole rating to something, like, and this is rich coming from me, I understand, but I think that you're thinking too hard about a rating. Like a rating, I think, is just a guideline. And I think that it is not a concrete, set in stone, sort of covers everything about a piece of media. Like there is no way, even if you go like, you know, 6.5783297.5, like I don't care how precise of a decimal you get into a rating, you're never going to capture the essence of that piece of media with a number, no matter how many decimals that you tack on to the end of it. I think that if you really want to have a piece of media like rated, you write a review for it, even if it's for yourself. I am going to show you guys. So I recently read Annihilation. Also, hang on. I am having some issues with my chat. Okay. Let me go to my chat. Let me see. Let me just test this out. Okay, cool. It's working again. Sorry about that. So for me, it's like my ranking system. This is my database here. This is like 0 is abysmal, literal waste of time, objectively bad, could be better, then enjoyed it, had a great time, will sing this media's praises. I think that that's enough. And if you want to get more granular, you have to write something. So this is a review that I wrote for Annihilation, the book, with my rating, with my thoughts. And I think that this is where, you know, your evaluation of media should come in, and not in a star form. All of this to say, I forgot why we were here. However, we're going to tie it back to what we were talking about. Oh, wait. You guys want to take a little, not hiatus, but a little pause? My cat is here. How-do-do-do-do. She just woke up. Woke up. Hi, honey. Hello. She's like, don't fucking touch my nose. She's so sleepy. Hi. Oh my god. Okay. Narita, I have a copy of the Anthropocene Reviewed. I'm going to let her out and I'm going to grab it real quick. She always does this thing where she's like, whenever she wants to like put me in my place, she like paused my face. She just did it a little bit there. Boop. I haven't read it yet. Hang on 1 second. Let me let her out. Okay, I'm back. I just had to walk to my bookshelf. It's not a big apartment. So a little bit of Esper lore. When I was, I think in between college and, yeah, this was between college and between getting my job. I was working retail, like stocking shelves. And I used to listen to the podcast version of the Anthropocene Reviewed. And I have a signed copy of it. Oops. Yeah. So I have a signed copy of the Anthropocene Reviewed because I just thought that like it was so utterly beautiful the way that John like talked about all of these like different things. I still haven't had the strength to read through all of it because there are some very sad parts of the Anthropocene Reviewed. I think I almost cried when he reviewed, I think, that bird that was going extinct. I don't remember exactly, but then he played the call of the bird that was recorded. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, I'm having a mental breakdown right now. That's fine. It's fine. So yeah. I have the book and I have a signed copy of it. I also have a signed copy of Hank's books. But yeah. So how numerical star system ratings were made for computers, Amazon, not released for other people. Yeah, I will definitely read. I might have listened to that one, but I agree. I think that stars and numerical systems for rating isn't really a good measure of any sort of media. Like, I think that it's useful for sort, you know, like if I wanted to see things that I like, I think it's useful for extremes too. So it's like if I wanted to see things that I would probably reread, I would sort by, you know, 4s and 5s, right? So I would be like, oh, I want to read something. Oh, The Hunger Games. I rated that 4 stars. I want an easy reread. I'll probably pick up The Hunger Games. I think that is the extent of the way that ranking systems work. Boop, 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 boop. So I feel like it's a bit ironic that now I'm kind of just like, all right, start grading this media. But what I mean by that is, how well does it keep its promise? We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But I think that there has been a lot of misunderstanding about the ways stories are told. And I see this thing a lot on the internet where people expect media to be morally good. And I'm going to talk about this more on a more detailed video essay later down the road. But I think there's a certain expectation of people for media to follow moral goodness. And that's not the way that media works or should work. I think that there's a lot of now criticisms of any sort of problematic character in media, any sort of portrayal that doesn't adhere to what people think are good. I think that there is a lot of disdain for any sort of negativity. And this really baffles me in like a very deep, visceral sense, because we kind of understand that villains are an inherent part of telling a story, but I don't know how that idea suddenly became divorced from the idea that stories will tell things and tell stories about bad things happening. It's like, if there's no conflict, that's just a slice of life story. So I think really like I want to emphasize this very, very elementary 3-arc structure for storytelling. So I feel like people get lost. And I'm speaking on my experience, I think, a lot from Jujutsu Kaisen and when I made content on it. And I think that a lot of people got very upset with me when I said that JJK was falling off. And it was. And I ended up being right about it. And I love being right. That's half a joke. But I did end up being right about it. And it baffled me how people didn't see it coming. And I think it was hidden through a lot of the crazy fights, the really fun, explosive scenes. But I want to say, okay, like, let's just go through the 3-act structure. So I don't know this like super off the top of my head, but in the beginning, you kind of just get the feel for the story. This is where, like, in the beginning of the story is where promises are made, right? Like, this is when you kind of get like a good sense of what the story wants to tell you, what the story is about, what themes it will tackle. So let's take the Hunger Games again, for example. Katniss Everdeen volunteers for her sister, and she thinks it's a death sentence. That is just the exposition and a little bit of the what's it called? What's the word for it? I keep losing my words. Conflict. It's a little bit of the conflict that's going to happen. And then from that point, right, like, we go to the rising action. This is when things are heating up. This is when more things come into play that go through. This is when things come into play that kind of either exacerbate or like set up more things for the conflict to take place. And climax is kind of like the big head to head, but we're not there yet. I think that people have a very hard time with dealing with the rising action of media nowadays. I think that people have a very hard time dealing with things being bad. And I think it's very elementary to just realize that things have to get bad before they get good. There is a struggle. If we were reading a story that didn't have anything going wrong with it, then we would be bored out of our minds. And I think, like, at the climax is like when you should be like past this point of like climax down this middle, following action and resolution is when you should be looking for your promises to get fulfilled. So ideally, exposition, rising action, climax, you should be looking at this part here, and you should ideally be adding points to your rating. So I want to clarify here, because I did say, you know, like I had this whole spiel about ratings. What I mean by that is that you are now accumulating goodwill points. This isn't rating points. This isn't like star points. Goodwill points is when a piece of media delivers on the promise that it gave, right? So ideally, all throughout this entire thing, you are gaining points. But the most important is rising action, or whatever the first part is. So I also am reading the Southern Reach series right now, and I would consider the first part of that trilogy, or rather series, the first book, the first entire book of that series, I consider that one book the rising action. While that book has its own exposition, rising action, climax, and resolution, the original trilogy as a whole, the first, second, and third book, are written as that exposition, rising action, climax, and then resolution. So it's very interesting to me, and this is the one that I referenced in these reviews. You can kind of see how the second one had the worst ratings, just by a margin, of all of them, because the book was a bit more tedious than the rest of them. But I kind of want to talk about why it's important to go through that part of the book, and why it's very worthwhile to churn through the challenging parts of a story when you know it's going to pay off, and also when to drop a piece of media when it's going to fall off. I don't know if I said that correctly, actually, but I'm very bad at, like, what's it called? I'm very bad at coming up with things on the spot. So this is why I'm doing the live streaming thing, is because I want to practice just like being able to convey my ideas in like a live format a little bit better. Anyway, let's repeat that. So I really want to talk about this dip, right? Like from 3.79, almost 3.8 to 3.55 to back up again to 0.33, 3.66, right? Like this is a very interesting thing where the ratings kind of go like that. It's almost like, let me get back to it. It's almost like the reverse of the three arc structure, right? Like you see here, like this is the beginning where it's the highest, and then you kind of dip down here for the rising action and climax in terms of rating. And then you kind of like make it like a little bit back for the resolution. And I found that very interesting, that the ratings kind of follow the three arc structure, because I think a lot of people, rightly so, don't really like conflict, and you're not meant to, you know, like you're supposed to feel discomfort. And I think that you are supposed to have a sense of conflict within your emotions whenever you consume media. I think that people identify this usually as a piece of media being bad, whereas oftentimes it really is just the path that the media itself needs to take. All right. So this is kind of what we're doing. And I think that I don't want to spoil the Southern Reach series for you guys, so I'm not gonna talk about anything specific of it. But I think accumulating points is kind of like, what is the promise of this? And then seeing how well the rising action my brain just stopped working. Basically, you accumulate points in the rising action portion of a series, and then oftentimes you'll end up subtracting points. Sorry. See, this is what I mean when I'm bad at like doing things live. So you, in the exposition, accumulate points, right? Like, are the characters acting well within the personalities that are set for them? Is the plot going to where it's been promised to go to? Like, think of it this way. If the Hunger Games, and I'm using Hunger Games here because I think it's a very popular piece of media that's been out forever and ever. I know this because it came out when I was in high school. If the Hunger Games, with its little blurb from the beginning, instead of Katniss going to the games, she escaped, right? Somehow, this cruel and oppressive system that the book states was hoodwinked by a 16-year-old girl. That would not be the book making good on its promise of what story to tell you, right? So you kind of have to be very critical of a piece of media during the exposition. And then I think you have to give it leeway when you get to the middle of it, the rising action, the climax, and the falling action. So let's keep going on when to deduct points. So I say this because of all the previous things that we have talked about, is that you deduct points not from your enjoyment. And I know this sounds very, very, very strange. However, this is under the assumption that you picked a piece of media that you are going to enjoy, right? So enjoyment isn't a consideration throughout. It's a consideration as a whole. We're talking about a piece of media as a whole and not a piece of media as what's it called? Sorry. Yeah. So this isn't about your enjoyment of each and every single part of the story. This is about your enjoyment of the media as a whole. Because very likely you are going to stop deriving the same enjoyment that you did from the media at the exposition stage, like from the exposition stage to the rising action, you are going to feel very differently about the media. And you should. You should. Media, good art makes you feel. Just remember that. And those feelings aren't always necessarily good. You know? I think that's what makes art great, is if like a piece of media can make you cry. If you're reading a book and sobbing at the foot of your bed so hard and you couldn't even make it onto your bed because the story moved you so much that you are in absolute ruin and nothing is even happening to you in real life. You are just simply reading like words on paper, that's incredible. Real story, by the way. When I was in sophomore year of high school, whenever The Fault in Our Stars came out, I was reading that book and I sobbed so hard. I used to read like this. Like, I used to read like with the book open, walking around. And I legitimately sobbed so hard that I couldn't make it from the door of my bedroom to my bed. Like, I fell down at the foot of my bed. I know that's very dramatic. I was like 16, right? Like 16-year-olds are very dramatic, but that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make. Not that 16-year-olds are dramatic, but that normally crying would be viewed as something that's kind of bad, right? Like, if you're sobbing, like, that means kind of, you know, you're sad, you're in peril, whatever. But in the context of consuming art, that's good. You wouldn't deduct points to how good the book is because it made you cry. But I think it's not always that black and white in terms of consuming media, because I think a lot of people get caught up in how it compares to the exposition. And I kind of want to even go as far as to say the exposition, besides like the final piece of the story, is probably the most fun part of the story. So it's very, very unfair to compare the rest of the story to the rising action. So next bit is that, like, you want to rate a piece of media by how well it's staying true to its promise. And I think it's fair here to deduct like a couple of points if you are like, oh, this is different now and it's different in a bad way. You know, like, I think there's some accounting for taste, but I think you can't deduct all the way through. Like, if you find like one category where it's like, oh, the writing style changed and I don't particularly like that, I think you're okay to do that, right? Like, but I don't think that you're okay to deduct every time you get annoyed by the writing, if that makes sense. Because usually things change as a unit. Yeah, I think I did the same for JJK, because when I was reading JJK, it ended up being that JJK kind of like did this thing for me where it was like, oh, super fun time. And then it got really dark. Now, I don't mind media turning dark or whatever, but there was definitely like a writing shift that happened. But in the same way that I would award 1 point for that, I wouldn't award points for every time JJK was dark, because it'll just clog up the system. That was finishing the Greenbone saga for me barely 2 years ago as a whole adult. What is that book about? Or I guess series about? I've legitimately never heard of that. But yeah, so is it staying true to its promise? So that's promise encompasses theme. It encompasses tone. It encompasses character traits and personalities. It also encompasses promised character arcs. I think this is one that people forget a lot about, is that promised character arcs are very, very dire to the way that a story goes. And I know I'm bringing up Jujutsu Kaisen a lot, but the feeling I think that a lot of people felt with Jujutsu Kaisen, where a lot of things, and just in general, when people feel like there are loose threads in a story, those are usually character arcs that were abandoned. Also story arcs that are abandoned. But usually story arcs and character arcs are very much intertwined. So when things fall apart in that way, I think it is a very big point off for a piece of media. Like, you can, I guess the point I'm trying to make is that a piece of media can absolutely change in tone, be darker, even upset you, and even be challenging to get through, either emotionally or like stylistically. But usually, if it's staying true to its promise, it will be worth it to get through that hard part of it. Am I making sense here? I realize this is why it takes me so long to write my videos, is because I don't know if the way I think about the world translates to the way I say it out loud. Oh my God. But yeah, so I think what I'm trying to say here is that at first, you know what? I think this is the most helpful thing. What I'm trying to say is that at every step of this, we have a very different ranking system. Like here at the exposition, we are evaluating promise. Like we are at the exposition, we are discovering the promises of the media. In the middle, in the rising action, climax, and falling action, we are evaluating whether the promises that we discovered in the exposition were actually followed through on. And I think this is why it's important to lessen the importance of enjoyment, because enjoyment is a whole package. Enjoyment isn't about like whether there was a challenging moment, because and I say this as somebody who hasn't ran in a very long time, but like running is like, yes, when I put my running shoes on, it's like, yes, I am doing something good for my body. This is great. As I'm running, it's like, fuck this, I can't breathe, this sucks, oh my God, is that a cramp? Like, I used to run like maybe 2 to 3 days a week when I was in high school, and it sucked. Like, the beginning part of running is like, woo, I'm doing something good for my body, I could stop whenever I want. The middle part of running is just like, I'm doing something good for my body, but fuck this. And the end of running is like, you forget all the bad shit that happened in the middle, and then you're like, look at me go, I did something good for my body. I hope that makes sense as like an analogy, but we're gonna move on from that because I think I've hit the point. But yeah, so these are the things we've talked about this already that you should deduct for: out of character behavior, things that were promised but subsequently left unresolved. Let me repeat that. Things that were promised but subsequently left unresolved, and digression for theme. Why can't I speak? We're just going to do this whole thing over again. Fond-du-Lais's Mafia family organized crime in a fantasy world trilogy. Most distinctive aspect of the series is that the magic is effectively an economic system with all the geopolitics that entails. That's interesting. It reminds me of this. So I read this, not read, I watched this video. Let me see if I can actually find it. I watched this video on Magic Systems. Yeah, the Magic System Paradox. It's this video right here by the Tale Foundry. And it's a very interesting video because it talks about magic systems as kind of like a paradox. Like, if a magic system exists, then it is therefore no longer magic. Obviously, like, that's too meta for this at the moment. But it's interesting to me, a series that uses magic as an economic system. What's the genre? Like, well, I guess not the genre, but what's the age range, I guess? Is it YA? Is it like more adult? Like, I feel like that would definitely determine for me, like, how interested I would be in the book. Because I think in a YA sense, I feel like it might be a little bit too, what's it called? It might be a little bit too like easy going. But if it was in like a more adult setting, that could get really gritty. Definitely adult. Okay. I will take a look. All right, we're almost at the final stretch here. This is actually, we're at the last 3 things. So let's restart this part of the slideshow. So, in summary, what are the examples of things that you should deduct for? Out of character behavior, things that were promised but subsequently left unresolved, like incomplete character arcs, incomplete story arcs, which are often tied together. Digression from themes is a big one. Like, I think that themes are very much set at the exposition and they should be followed through to the end of the book. Deus Ex Machina, unearned plot twists, etc. I've always thought that plot twists were cheap. I know some people like plot twists, but I think that a sufficiently good plot twist is something that can be predicted. And I know that's kind of antithetical to what a plot twist is, but if you don't set up your story in such a way that it could be figured out, then I think you're writing a bad story. All right. Flynn. Yeah. And here's the thing I think that I discovered when I was doing a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen content is that a lot of people grade on promise and not execution and intent. I've found that there is a lot of grace that is given for things that are poorly executed. I feel like that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. How do I put this in a way that's like still true to what I mean, but not so harsh? The only thing I could think of is, you know how people date people for their potential and not who they are? Like, that's the only thing I can think of, is that don't watch a piece of media for what it can be. Like, watch a piece of media for what it is. I think that when I was doing a lot of Jujutsu Kaisen content, a lot of people always gave me the argument of it's not yet finished. But the thing is, like, by the time you get to the middle of the story, maybe end middle, like where you're at, kind of like the falling action, you can really tell where a story is heading, because there's no more time to pivot elsewhere. And this brings me back to my point of any good twist is predictable, paradoxically, because if you introduce a twist so late that you don't have time to set it up, then it's not been earned by the story. It's just like kind of a band-aid solution for something that probably wasn't properly written. So yeah. That's not a full sentence. I was like, remembering the promise of a piece of media that will hit. That's not a full sentence. I don't know what I meant to write there. What could I have possibly wanted to write there? The promise of a piece of media that will... You know what? This is editable. I could edit this right now. Promise of media is being fulfilled. And I think I make another slide here. Oops. Duplicate? Yeah, whatever. I think I make another slide here where we summarize everything. Okay, so summarize. Oh, let me put on some music. Oh, wait. No, let's start here. How's the music level? Can you hear it? Let me go real quick. I feel like you should be able to hear it. Oh, wait. Hang on. Maybe here. Then we'll lock that. Okay. I think that's good. Just a little bit more music. Okay. To summarize. Promises are created in the exposition. And this is what the piece of media should be. Judged on later. The middle, falling, no, rising action, climax, and falling action can be challenging or what did I write here? Challenging or bad, or just simply bad. To ensure determine which. I think this could be its own point. Determine which recall back to the promises made in the beginning. And lastly, enjoyment of a medium, not a medium, piece of media is about the whole package, not just individual pieces. Because good media can make you go through a range of emotions and feelings. I think that's good. We did good. Oh wait, let's animate this. Let's present it like I didn't just write it right now. They'll never know in the YouTube video. So I'll edit this part out. All right. I need water. Okay. So to summarize, actually, let me pick a good music for this. Let's pick this one. I think this is a good track for this. Nope, not that. Okay, so to summarize, promises are created in the exposition, and this is what the piece of media should be judged on later. The middle, which is the rising action, climax, and the falling action, can be challenging or just simply bad. To determine which, recall back to the promises made in the beginning. And enjoyment of a piece of media is about the whole package and not individual pieces, because good media can make you go through a range of emotions and feelings. You guys, by the way, just witnessed how I do my video essays, but like repeat this process 20 million times. I was just talking about this in the beginning of the stream that I cut out. No. Did I talk about this at the beginning of the stream? No, I think I talked about this with my friends last night. I cut out 14,000 words from my next upcoming video essay. So there is a lot there. Also, I don't think this summary was good enough of me just reading it. So I'm going to read it back again and explain certain things. So this is I'm just going to go back here. There we go. I think it like certain things here need a bit more explanation. So how do you determine definitively if a piece of media that you are watching will fall off or if it will pay off? So remember that the piece of media should be judged on the promises that it created in the exposition. The exposition kind of sets the entire tone for... Why do I keep losing my train of thought? The exposition sets the entire tone of the piece of media that you are consuming. And you can't go back and rewrite the expectations, right? But in this regard, the middle, which is the rising action, climax, and falling action, can be either challenging or simply just bad. If it's challenging, that just means it is pushing the boundaries of its relationship with you, but it's not necessarily going to result in a bad story. It may just be making you feel things that you don't want to feel, or things that are making you question things and think about things, which can be uncomfortable. Or it could just be simply bad. But how do you tell? You recall back to what the promises were made. You recall back what promises were made in the beginning of the story. And if you are still on track, and if you are still on that same path, you can kind of be rest assured that that piece of media is still guiding you to the end of the story that you signed up for. Remember that the enjoyment of a piece of media is about a whole package and not individual pieces, because good media can make you go through a range of emotions and feelings. And that's it. That's the goodwill theory, is that you store a certain amount of goodwill for the promises that are being fulfilled throughout the book or a piece of media. and you use that as a currency to go through the whole media itself. And when you run out of goodwill with this piece of media, then you can kind of determine that the media is bad, or if you don't run out of goodwill currency and you keep building it up, you can kind of realize that the piece of media will deliver on its promises. All right. Man, that was tiring. Let's go to bed, guys. Oh man, what time is it? It's only 10:30. All right, let me pause my music. I can't believe it's only 10:30. Oh, that was tiring, but I think it is a good step into me getting better at not improv. I wouldn't necessarily call this improv, but I think this is a stepping stone into me getting better at thinking off the cuff, which I like to do in my video essays. Like I tend to do at least one section of my video essay where I pretty much just off the top of my head, according to theme, like explain something. Because I think that scripting things is all good and well, but I think my real goal with video essaying is to converse with people, right? I love YouTube comments. I love talking to people about the things that I make video essays about. And I think that having a more human connection is reliant upon me being able to voice my thoughts in a less polished way. Because I think that if I'm just going for polish, you know, like I'm not leaving any room for discussion and further thought. I think that, you know, I want people to see how I really think about a piece of media or social commentary that I do. I want people to see like the underlying thoughts that I have. Do I like One Piece? Haven't read it. Yeah, that's all I've got for you. But yeah, I kind of came up with this idea of doing like a live video essay while I was filming a part of my video where I had to explain things very, very, like, I couldn't explain something, like, I couldn't script this part of the video, like, just by the nature of the video. Excuse me, I have to burp. Let's start over. Just by the nature of the part of the video, there's just no way I could script it. And I was kind of struggling a lot about how to explain that, like how to do the very, very unscripted part of that video. Like, I think I need to, I used to be able to do this like really well when I was a streamer, but I think I need to develop the part of my skill set where I can just talk about things. And like, I want to improve my storytelling. I want to improve my the way that I convey my thoughts, because I think I do genuinely have a hard time with conveying my thoughts. Hence the 14,000 words that I cut out of my current video essay script. Also, the next video essay I have in the pipeline isn't going to be that long. It is 4,000 words, which normally would be about 40 minutes for me, but I spoke a little bit faster this time. Speaking faster is also a skill. I feel like I did not what's it called? I spoke really slowly in some of my videos, and it low-key bothered me because I'm like, my video should be shorter than this. But yeah, I think working on my like thought to speech pipeline will help me in the long run. One Piece is my white whale. I will get to it eventually. I'm not. Who's your favorite One Piece character? I don't have one. Subscribe to you. Thank you. Yeah, I think this is a very good way for me to not only engage with people, but also develop my skills. So I'm going to try to do this semi-regularly, but also I still have, you know, my videos to work on and things like that. So it's going to be a little bit more, like, yeah, I lost my train of thought. Love your vids. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not going to be doing much anime anymore. Like, I'll do it every now and again, but I do really want to do a lot more what's it called? Social commentary, I guess is what you call it. Video essays. Like, I want to do reviews on movies and shows and things like that. I might do one on Severance, to be honest. I might do one on the Southern Reach trilogy. But let's see. If you guys enjoyed the stream, I would appreciate it if you followed me on Twitch. If you guys from the YouTube stream have a Twitch account, I would appreciate it if you guys gave me a follow on Twitch, because I do want to grow my Twitch stream and have people over there. I have emotes there, you know, I have my old channel there, and I do enjoy streaming. Obviously, I'll keep streaming on YouTube. You know, I know my audience is here. But if you do use Twitch every now and again, I'd appreciate if you gave me a follow there. What's my secret talent? What's my talent, period? I don't know. How does one evaluate their talent? I'm not trying to get too meta here. But yeah, not trying to get too meta here, but I'm kind of like, what is even a talent? I guess I could talk forever and ever. Is that a talent? Like, would people consider that a talent? I remember being in middle school, and the two things that I remember being told in middle school was my friend telling me, you have an oddly shaped head, which rude. And two, you talk a lot. And I do. I talk a ton. And I like that about me now. Actually, even back then, I think I like that about me. I also don't think I have an oddly shaped head. It's a normal shaped head. My Asian? Yeah. I would like to think so because I'm a professional yapper. What do you do, Narita? Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think being able to hold a conversation and being able to talk is a very valuable asset. And also, I think that you could use your ability to talk, to also welcome people into the community. Like whenever I'm like at a party or things like that or new somewhere, I always have a pretty good time talking to people. And I think it opens up the atmosphere of kind of just the vibe of the party or whatever to others, because it's like if you can talk to people, I think, you know, people feel more at ease. From where? I'm Filipino. Oh, what did you guys think? I know not everybody was here, but what did you guys think of like our little slideshow and presentation? I know, like, look, I know it was rough going there for a second. I know that I wasn't particularly polished, but I did say to myself, I was like, okay, I will just make sure that I have something that I go live on a Thursday, because I did run a poll. I don't know if you guys saw, but there is a poll on my channel. Let's see. So, not webcam, but there was a poll on my channel and people were like, okay, the best day is Thursday. Sundays are kind of like touch and go. I would only be able to do every other Sunday because I play D&D. So like Thursday won out. I don't know if you guys were the people who voted for Thursday on this poll. But yeah, I think this is kind of like a test run. I know I was like very scattered. This is how I am like when I'm making videos. That's why I like a teleprompter and a script. But I think it'll just get better the more I do it. And also, if you guys have any suggestions as to things that you want me to talk about, let me know right now. And I will, you know, put it in my... I was going to say put it in the back of my head, but realistically, I am going to put it in a notepad so I don't forget about it. I liked it. It was fun. Thank you. Really good. I did enjoy the opportunity for little tangents along the way, which is always fun in this format. Yeah, I really do genuinely make content so that I can talk to people about things. And I know live streams will kind of be like... live streams are kind of tough because you're building a brand new audience that will listen to a live stream and or like even hang around for the duration of a live stream, especially on YouTube, where YouTube, like if you go onto a video, actually, let's just go on my stream. So if you even just like go on my stream, like there is videos, there's shorts recommended here. Like there's so much competition on YouTube that it is kind of difficult to, I guess, not build that audience, but kind of find a format that works and find a format that will remain interesting. And I think this format is something that I can kind of invest into because it is very much in line with what I like to do. And it's also very much in line with the way that my brain works. And I hope that the people who watch me enjoy this type of thing. And yeah, I think I'll just, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I just get better at the format. And I think I will. This is just like first try, right? First try. I made a PowerPoint literally like after work yesterday and today, and I think that it went rather well. I think maybe, I don't know if I would rehearse next time. I think I would just, yeah. I mean, you know what? Let me ask you guys, like, what feedback do you guys have for me for this format? Because I know I went on so many tangents and I think I got very distracted. Do you guys have any like feedback for me about what sort of things I could do better, what you could do without, what you really like, what you kind of like, what you would see more of? I think that's the most important one. It's like, what would you like to see more of in this format? Because I think that, you know, if you like something, that's great, but things that people like aren't necessarily like replicable all the time. But I think if there's something that you want to see more of, that's easier to accomplish, if that makes sense. Like if you're like, I really liked diagrams, or I really liked more visual aids, or I really liked when you walked us through like going through the tags or something like that. I think that's easier to replicate. But if you're just like, I liked this thing, you know? So I guess the question is, tangent. The question is, what would you guys like to see more of? And what would you guys like to see less of? This is actually, fun fact, this is a question that I ask my players because I'm DMing a campaign right now. This is a question that I like to ask my players when we hit the end of a session. Because I think, and look, my friends are lovely people, and this is why this happens. My friends would never say to me, we didn't like that. That was bad, because they know that I put a lot of effort into prepping our D&D campaign. So instead, what I ask them is, what do you want to see more of? And what do you want to see less of? Because it's not so negative that it will kind of like put them off from answering and be like, oh, I'm going to offend you. Oh, you're doing so much work already. Like, I feel like I'm being an asshole. I think it's also the most actionable in terms of feedback, because I can easily insert more of the things that they like and take away things that they don't like. Yeah, being a DM is tough. I know I'm like off tangent right now, but like I'm going to talk about this and then I probably, oh my God, I have to film. I definitely have to film that part of the video tonight. Sorry. Now I'm just thinking about my to-do list. But yeah. D&D is a very interesting exercise because it's so collaborative. Maybe I'll do a slideshow presentation on D&D. But D&D is such a collaborative experience that like all the moving parts kind of make the entire thing so fragile yet so easily bolstered. Like if one person falls apart, like everybody can kind of like rally around that person and still like get them back up and running. But also it's the sense that sometimes you can't move them all as a unit. And that's a very, very interesting prospect of D&D for me. We also play for so long. We play for 6 hours, but we eat like in the middle of it. I think I will take some time to reflect on the whole thing and make a more focused comment, since right now I'm just thinking fun. Oh, that's so sweet though. I'm glad you had fun. I had fun too, even though I was like super scattered. I had a lot of fun, genuinely. Like I think, okay, I'm just gonna get a little bit personal. I'm gonna get a little bit personal. My voice cracked like I'm 15 years old going through puberty. I'm gonna get a little personal. As if you were here at the beginning of the stream, as you saw, I have a very solid history in terms of streaming on Twitch. I love Twitch. It was probably the platform that did the most for me when I was a young woman, just out of like in college and out of college. And I have a very, like, I hold Twitch near and dear to my heart. And live streaming as a sort of form of media is something that's very, very fond to me and very interesting to me. And you saw a lot of my, friends, old viewers, like stop by in the beginning of the stream, and we talked for like over an hour, and it felt like catching up with old friends. But I don't think that I am cut out to be a video game streamer. I think being a video game streamer for me it just sounds bad. It doesn't sound like something I would enjoy, because for me, video games are either like a thoroughly competitive thing or time to relax. And I could do neither when I am streaming. Like, I'm not good enough to be competitive while being entertaining. And I am not relaxed when I'm trying to entertain. So I think this format of content where I essentially talk about things and do a video essay live is a way to get back in touch with a form of media that I really love. And I'm very, very excited about that. So yeah, I just wanted to get a little bit personal for a second, because I did miss streaming quite a bit. I actually would love that, because I've never played D&D and I'm not even sure I even really understand what it is. Would love a video on it. Yeah. I mean, I could make a video or one of these live streams on probably one of these live streams on D&D. D&D is something that I've been doing for a long time. I have a lot of hobbies. D&D is something that I have been doing for 6 years now. D&D is very overwhelming on a certain degree. However, once you kind of get past all of the rules and all of the technicalities of it, it's a very satisfying system, especially if you're playing with people who really like click with you. Is there anything specifically that, like, I guess since you never played D&D and you're not really even sure I understand, I guess like a what is D&D stream would be. I was actually thinking about this. I was like, what about a stream of like, why is D&D so popular now? I think that would do numbers. Because I think there's some very, very interesting things to the rise of D&D within the cultural zeitgeist, right? Like, you have the Dimension 20s, you have the Critical Roles, you have like the popularity and kind of like insertion into mainstream culture of D&D language. We always had the true neutral, like chaotic good, chaotic evil type shit. But I think, like, oh, and like not a lot of people say this, but like, oh man, I definitely have a video, but the way D&D has kind of like penetrated mainstream culture is insane, because I recently went to Dimension 20 live, and it was at Madison Square Garden. For those of you who don't know, Madison Square Garden is a massive stadium. I believe it's for hockey. Here, it is enormous. Let me see if I could find a good video of it. Yeah, like here, like you could see here, like how big this stadium is, right? Like, they sold out Madison Square Garden, and it's insanely interesting the way that D&D has kind of become this like outcast sort of game to being able to sell out Madison Square Garden, right? That's a topic that I would definitely love to talk about. Oh, all right. I think that's the end of the stream. I I don't remember how to end these things. But yeah, I think I had a blast, you guys. Had a lot of fun. I definitely want to do this again. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's always very, very, what's it called? It's very nerve-wracking to press start streaming because I have always been under the kind of, I guess, worry that people won't show up to a stream and I'll be sitting here like talking to myself. Especially since my old Twitch audience was all for gaming and I don't think they're particularly interested in this stuff. So yeah, I'm very, very happy that you guys showed up. You chatted with me and yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this and feel free to suggest more topics. All right, I have to. Did I eat dinner? I did not eat dinner. I'm not that hungry, but I might have a snack. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm going to do some filming for. I'm gonna do some filming for the video that's meant to come out sometime in March, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Wait. I don't often... Oh, wait. Socials. I don't have a bot in YouTube. Or is it social? There we go. I don't have a bot in YouTube, but I'm going to start posting short form content again. But if you guys want, follow me on any of these things. TikTok, obviously you're already subscribed to me on YouTube. Blue Sky, I've moved. If you followed me on Twitter before, I've moved from Twitter to Blue Sky. And then I'm fairly active on Instagram, not on posting, but like stories. I love the format of stories, so I use it a lot. So yeah, if you guys want to see more of my content across the other platforms, if you like short form, or if you don't, no big deal. I'll be posting a condensed version of this. Hopefully it turns out. I'm going to have to watch this back and I'm going to be like, oh my God, I couldn't string a thought together. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I had a blast. Yeah. Thank you guys for showing up. Okay. Bye.